Funny Games. SGC here, and we're back for a movie review. So this movie came out in 2007. It's a psychological thriller, and it's written and directed by Michael Haneke, and it's a remake of his own 1997 Austrian film, Funny Games. This 2007 version is a shot-for-shot remake of that film, though it's in English and it's set in the States and with different actors. This movie stars Tim Roth, Naomi Watts, Michael Pitt, and Brady Corbet, and everyone else. Check down below. So what's this movie about? Well, basically, it's about a home invasion. Tim Roth and Naomi Watts are the couple with their kid. They're at a vacation home, and two guys show up, and things go pretty intense. And Haneke, the director, has said that the film is a reflection and criticism of violence used in media. So there are some stuff in the film where it addresses this stuff. What it is, you should watch the movie and find out. And that's basically the entire film. So what did I think? Well, first off, this movie was brought to my attention by JC. I'm glad that he did. I mean, he did, but I put it off. I'm sorry, dude, because tons of stuff to watch. It's just a really busy schedule and all that. But then recently, JoBo.com put this movie on a list of movies you never want to see again. And it was 6 out of 10. And I was like, oh, I am intrigued and curious as to why. So I finally settled down, put stuff away on my schedule, and watched this thing. And holy smokes, it is intense. I read stuff about it beforehand in terms of how people saw it. Some people saw it was like sort of torture porn and all that stuff. And it's been a long time since I watched stuff like that. Say Hostel 1, 2, Saw series and all that. So gore and violence has been put off for me in terms of viewing stuff. So I haven't seen stuff with a lot of like focus on that stuff. So I was kind of like not sure what I got myself into. But lo and behold, it's beyond that. The characters written here are pretty intense. The two home invaders are really different in a sense where you get to know their psyche and just their motivations, and you get to know them, and then they're like, holy crap, these guys are messed up. And then you know the family just reacts. It's a real life situation, as in how would real people react to a home invasion? How do you react when someone's gonna go, you're gonna die in the morning? Do you bet against that, or what are you gonna do? So props to Tim Roth and Naomi Watts and the kid. It's a hard movie to act in, I would say, in a sense where a lot of dialogue wasn't given to the couple. They just sort of reacted, and a lot of just emotions on their face, expressions. That's pretty much their acting, and I really dug that. They were reacting to the situation. In terms of the home invaders, they had a lot of fluff dialogue, but when they start monologuing about stuff, you realize where they're coming from, and just this insane psychopathic sort of thing, and it's just like, wow. And that's just talking about the acting and the characters. When we go on to cinematography, I really dug it. I wouldn't really agree in a sense that this movie you wouldn't watch again. Sure, the subject matter is messed up and you don't want to watch it, but just watching how it's filmed, it's really great. There's a lot of still shots where the camera is just stationary and things happen on the screen. It follows the character sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. It keeps you thinking what's going to happen, what's going to pop out on this side of the screen when it moves or when it doesn't. Some stuff gets set up and some stuff is just wow. I mean, it brings another level, I would say. There's not a lot of just shaky cam or cheap sort of jump scares here and there, but rather it's just unfolding in front of you and you're just literally watching it. And that sort of goes to the plot where Michael Pitt's character questions the audience themselves. He breaks the fourth wall here, and that's an interesting thing. And he talks about how they think who's going to win, who's going to survive and all that. And it's an interesting sort of dynamic that they put forth. And also there's a twist at the end. It's like, wow. It's just, yes, we have been conditioned to think thrillers are going to end in sort of way. And it might or may not end in this movie like that. So I really dug the cinematography. The still shots were just great. You just see things unfold, and it really gave to the whole... You're just watching this unfold, and it really lent itself to that. There was stuff that happened off screen as well, and you just hear it, and it's just like, ooh, brutal. And I enjoy that. Not for the fact that it was brutal and nasty, but rather it was just like how it was filmed. You saw the reaction rather than the action, and I really dug that. And all in all, it's interesting for sure. It paints a interesting picture in terms of how do we see thrillers nowadays? Do we always expect this to happen or expect that to happen? What happens when those things don't happen? Like, how do we react as an audience? And I really enjoy those questions. And all in all, it was filmed well. I enjoyed the cinematography really well. The soundtrack really lends itself well. The subject matter is going to put off people, but I would say, I don't know. I don't know how I would convince anyone to watch this if they're put off by it. I would just say, I don't know, skip those sections or mute it or what have you. But it really addresses the whole, what are expectations to film? And that's a core sort of value of this film rather than a home invasion. I feel like the core characters are rather these home invaders rather than do these people survive. And that's sort of putting it on its head and different perspectives and all that. And I really did enjoy that. So thanks, JC, for recommending this. It wasn't on my radar at all. And I'm going to leave below that list that Joe Blow posted up. I'm probably going to check out some of them as they're pretty messed up. And once in a while, pretty messed up films are enjoyable at times because it really brings up like the whole holy crap moments of danger. Whereas Hollywood sometimes plays it really safe and you know people are going to survive no matter what they go through. And to see a hero die, or see the main lead die, is sometimes satisfying. Morbidly saying that. So yeah, all in all, funny games, interesting. Cinematography was great. Fourth wall breaking was great. Addressing expectations was also great. Acting was great. All in all, it was a decent film, and I would definitely recommend it if you can get over the whole brutality and just, I don't know. I feel like maybe read up about it. Find out what happens if you're that scared, and then just watch it for the cinematography itself and just how it's filmed rather than what happens, because what happens lends itself well in a sense of how it's filmed, and how it's filmed lends itself well at what happens. So there's that balancing issue, but I'd rather you just watch the film to see that art form happening rather than caring about what happens to these three people. But it's irksome at the same time. It's like, what do I value more? At this moment, I value the art form rather than the storytelling. So yeah, all in all, that is it. If you have seen Funny Games, leave your comments down below. I hope I'll have some time to check out the 97 version just to compare, though it's shot for shot, so I wonder if acting or the soundtrack would change up or something. Who knows? But whatever. If you have seen the original, also leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And that is it for this movie review for Funny Games. Out!